Good morning, good morning. How are you doing this morning? So I had forgotten to mention what book it is, excuse me, that I'm reading out of. And it's The More I Love, The More I Learn, The More I Love. And it is by Wendy Ditto. She's been a Bob Proctor consultant, and yeah, so I like how she's written out the laws. It's just done in a really nice way. I mean, this is just one chapter of her book. So it's The More I Learn, The More I Love. And this is the law of gratitude, and it's something to bear in mind every single morning. So I did a post, about being grateful, and somebody had mentioned, gee, I can't see my kids, and etc. etc. And that's where everybody is at the minute, and it's almost when you think about something, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. And if we live our life in there, then yeah, but everybody's in the same boat, aren't they? And just starting your day and remembering, oh my goodness, I woke up this morning and I'm fit and healthy and I can choose to go for a run or not. And this morning, I'm not running this morning. I've been running over mountains and I'm actually quite tired. So I didn't realize just how less work I do in the gym compared to what I do whenever I'm outside. And so today, I'm just grateful that I can make a choice. Thank goodness. About 15 years, 10 years ago and 15 years ago, I've broken my back. Yeah, so twice I've done it. And yes, it's always horses. And I remember when I was up running yesterday over the tops, and I remember thinking, whenever I was sitting at home and I couldn't do that, that was the one thing I just visualized myself doing over and over again. And it was like my heart, I just wanted to get up and run. And, at this moment in time, I can still do that. That's my one exercise for the day. I'm so grateful that, we can keep in contact with video links and stuff like this, wow, and we can still get food. There's so much to be grateful for, so much to be grateful for. And it's also a different way as well for us to have a different way of living. That there's other things that we can do, and maybe you can start a new business, or this is time to be creative. If you've got more time now, this is time to be totally, totally creative. What could you do differently? The law of gratitude states that whenever you're grateful, it raises your vibrational frequency and supports you getting in harmony with the energy of the universe. By acknowledging and giving sincere thanks for everything in your life, you're opening a pathway for more. No matter how bad life seems, there is always, always something to be grateful for. Another law that people, when you realize this is here, then it can change your life. So this is the law of polarity. So when there's a right, there's a left, because otherwise you wouldn't know that there was a right, would you? So when there's up, there's a down. When there's an in, there's an out. That's life, isn't it? You pick up a coin, you pick up two sides. When you're with a person, you pick up two sides of that person as well. So when there's bad, what you deem to be bad, that means that there must be good. If you look for the good, you will find the good. But if you just see the bad, then that's all there is. Now, at the back of that, when we realize that life is life, and life is about expansion and growth, that means everything that we do is for our expansion and growth. Everything. Now, it's up to you whether you learn your lesson. I love it how Abraham Hicks puts it. She says that whenever you have a desire, so whenever you see something that you don't want, immediately you have it hits you in the gut, maybe here. But immediately at that time, that's your asking. And when you ask, it is created. It is law. It is law. If there is a void, there has to be the filling of that void. So if you feel lonely, it means that you're not lonely, but where is it that you're looking at? And I remember saying one time, if you make friends with yourself, you'll never be lonely. But how many of us are actually friends with ourselves? How many of us have a real horrible story going on in our head. It may not even be about us. We think it's not about us. We're criticizing other people, other things, whatever. But actually, who feels the criticism? You do. You feel it. Just as you feel love when you love something, you feel it. Now, when you criticize something, you feel it in your gut, don't you? You feel it. So why bother criticizing or judging anything? Because you're actually only doing it to yourself. And I love it whenever, if somebody criticizes me, which actually doesn't happen because I don't even notice it anyway if they did. It's just like water off a duck's back. But that's it. It bounces off me and hits them. Yeah? It just like literally multiplies because I didn't react. Because I'm like, la la la. Yeah, Sheena lives in la la land. It's great here. And I'm not saying that I'm like this all the time, that, I'm not perfect and I'm not like nothing affects me. Oh yes, it does. It does. I am affected. But I have learned how to can get back on the horse. You fall off, you can choose to sit on the ground and whinge and cry. And sometimes I do. Because sometimes I just go, do you know what? I give up. I give up. I just give up. But then I always go, I don't want to stay here. I'm straight back on that horse again. Straight back on. How quickly do you get back on the horse? You may not ride, but you understand the analogy, don't you? So the law of polarity tells us that everything has a dual nature. Everything expresses itself in the polar opposite. It exists so that we may experience life fully with the understanding that without cold there would be no hot, without left there would be no right, and without up there would be no down. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Oh, I love that. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Now that could be, whenever you feel anxiety. So say you're about to go on stage to speak. Not now, obviously, but maybe you're wanting to do a webinar or something, or a FaceTime Live and you're really scared. Well, the way your neurons are literally firing off at that time, anxiety, is actually excitement. So how do you want to view it? It's the same biological process going on, but do you view it as horrible and scared, or do you say to yourself, wow, this is literally something that, I'm so excited. I am so excited. Yeah? That's the way to view it. And we could view this as difficult times, or we could view it as a chance for opportunity, a chance to express our love, a chance to do something different. You see, what we're doing is we're running in habit every single day. Remember, I've said this before, 98% of what we do is habitual. And when we get that habit interrupted, we can feel this horrible energy. That was you all along. It wasn't what broke the energy. What this situation right here is showing you is that you've been feeling crap all along and you didn't notice it. And this has brought it to your attention. And you can choose to continue to think and feel what you're feeling, or you can choose to recognize that, oh my goodness, this is how I've been living my life in this feeling. Why? And I want to do something about it. I want to change my life. This is something to help you change your life with. This is the time to do something different. I promise you, you've been feeling like this the whole way along. You just didn't notice it because your conscious mind was busy. Our paradigms, our programming. If you look at my in my Stir It Up community, yesterday, you'll actually see a post about paradigms, and paradigms are programming. And it has us running, so fast. It's like being in a car with a limiter on, so that, it's only ever going to go at 40 miles an hour. And you can put your foot flat down on that limiter or on your accelerator and think that you're going faster. And all you're doing is revving your engine and stressing yourself out and making yourself tired. Okay? This is the time to take a good look at your life and do something different. Yeah, what is it? What is it? Now, yesterday, the day before, in that group, Stir It Up, I talked about goals and how to set goals and what type of goals and why it links to your showing of the programming coming up as well. So get into my group and have a look at those 2 masterclasses for the last 2 days, because today I'm going to be talking about something different again. And this is all about your GPS to success. Do something different. What is that for you? What is it? I don't have the answer. So remember the law of polarity. Where it feels difficult is you choosing to look at it as difficult. There is something awesome to see. There really is. It's just, it feels you're not used to doing that. The law of polarity works hand in hand with the law of attraction. While these two are separate, they work together to influence your manifestation potential. The law of attraction is like attracts like, while the law of polarity is in opposites attract. Isn't that funny? So it's 2 things. So how do you have opposites attract, but you have like attracts like? Yeah. So basically what it is that obviously if difficult times exist, that means good times exist. Just look for the good. If we're looking at, but because they're both there at the same time, it is law. They both exist at the same time. So there you go. What are you going to do differently today? Yeah. What's been in your heart that you've been ignoring and think, I can't do? Get out of this, learn about it. And whenever we finish this situation right now, be running. Don't wait till it's over and then, because you'll end up being pulled back to exactly where you were before. Do you want that normal that you had before? Or do you want a new normal? Start creating it now. What could that be? This really is exciting times for us to really rethink and be creative. How are we going to change our lives? We're all being asked to do that. Don't you think it's exciting? I do. Anyway, gotta go. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to go for. Yes, a nice walk instead of running over the mountain this time. So have a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.